Hey, good morning. Happy Friday. Yay! Working for the weekend. I don't know if you've been joining us all week, but here, another Life Online. We're going to wrap up those two great verses. We're heading to Proverbs chapter 3, verse 6. Let's review 5. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. And then comes verse 6. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight. Acknowledge. We've all watched the actors, the musicians, the sports superstars in the awards programs. They may go ahead and acknowledge a few others within their life, but often they go on and talk about how maybe awesome they have been, or some kind of a cause drives us nuts. But what this really speaks of when it says acknowledge, the idea is to recognize who God is and for us to respond accordingly. That's important for us. Oh, that is wisdom. So in other words, we acknowledge he is God, that we are not. And so we trust, we depend, we lean into him. When we recognize God's authority over every component of our lives, I just believe that it opens up this way of God's blessing. And by the way, we're to depend on God in all of your ways. Acknowledge him. In other words, seek and submit to his will, really in every area of our lives, no matter how big or how small. And then he promises this. This is when you can bank on, and this is what I really want you to grab on today. God gives us a promise, and he says that he will make straight paths for us. At first glance, it seems to say that you choose the way that you should go, and then and then you trust him, you pray about it, and he'll straighten out everything. But what it really says is this: the first thing that we do is we trust in him, we lean into him and acknowledge him. And what happens is the straight path really has this idea of that the best path becomes obvious for us. In other words, wisdom becomes clear to us as we depend on him, trust him, lean on him. The bottom line is he wants relationship with us, where we acknowledge his right to rule over our lives, every facet of it. By the way, Solomon, who writes these words, he was the best case scenario. When God gave him a blank checkbook, a blank check, and said, what do you want from me? I'll grant whatever you want. And above all, he asked for wisdom, and God gave him great wisdom, man unparalleled in wisdom. And yet also, he is the worst case illustration, because in 1 Kings, it is chapter 11, verse 4. This is what it says. For when Solomon was old, his wives, and he had multiple wives, his wives turned his heart away after other gods, and his heart was not wholly devoted to the Lord his God. Now, I don't know if that grabs you, but this verse should really concern you. It should really concern us. In other words, here is a guy who had unparalleled wisdom, and yet in his great wisdom, still he failed God because of some foolish choices that he made with allowing these women from other countries to come and taking them in as multiple wives, and they turned his heart away from God. So here's the central point of Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. In order to make the best decisions now, and I'm talking about today, because you don't know the future, nor do I. And because the path, only God fully knows the path in front of us, we need to really turn to him, trust in him, lean into him, not our own understanding. In order for us to make the best decisions today, now, we need much more than information, common sense, or conventional wisdom. You need God. So do I. We need to live with a posture of dependency. That's what Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6 is all about. Whether you're young, whether you're old, we all need God. So trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight. What a great way to wind up the week. Hey, God bless you. Really hope to see you at Sunday Celebration, whether it's online or in person. We're starting a brand new series called Groundwork. It'll make a difference. It'll remind you maybe of some things that you've known from the past, but it'll help us as we trust in the Lord and lean into Him. So God bless you. Have an awesome, awesome day. Love you much. Bye.